Hello folks and welcome back to Medieval Total War. I am Conostip and this is going to be part 10 of my early campaign where I'm playing as Egypt, and we've hit a pretty peaceful period in the campaign. Currently I'm at war with no one, and neither are the Byzantines. They are at peace with everyone. I believe the Turks as well. I believe they also have peace. Yeah, the Turks came out on the rough end of that war with me and the Byzantines, and they have two of their armies that are basically isolated here in Edessa, and then what they have here in Armenia and Georgia is really not much. And the Byzantines, I wouldn't be surprised to see them go after Georgia, and here's why. The Byzantines have every single one of their homeland objectives except for Georgia itself, which would be giving them 1 point. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them maybe renew that war because it's so lightly defended, right? So you would think that would be a logical choice, but we will see. And yeah, the Turks are just in a very rough spot. But I'm sitting pretty good. The French Crusade came and went in the last episode, and it was not much happened. Yeah, I mean, they tried to attack, but then they retreated from Antioch. But because they were at war with the Byzantines, they had no place to retreat to. So the Crusade just disappeared, and the French Empire immediately went on into a civil war. Now, I think they're going to be rebounding from that civil war pretty strongly. They are currently only at war with Aragon and the Germans and the English. And you might think that's a tough spot for the French, being that's a 3v1, but all three of those factions are pretty weak right now. I think the English just have Mercia and Northumbria. Aragon probably just has, like, you know, Valencia and Navarre and Aragon at the most. And Germany, they have 4 provinces. They have Brandenburg, Bohemia, Saxony, and Austria. So Austria, Bohemia, Brandenburg, and Saxony. So 2 provinces together, split up from another 2 provinces that are bordering each other. So yeah, they're in a rough spot, and the Italians are sort of gobbling up some of the territory that the Germans did own, because I'm guessing that they had their own civil war as well. So there's no one able to really take advantage of the weak position that the French find themselves in, and the fact that the Italians are going to play this passively and sort of just gobble up their own territory and make themselves stronger. I don't know if that tactic is going to work, because I feel like anytime factions leave the French alone and just let the French gobble up smaller, weaker factions, then eventually they turn on that faction that left them alone. And I feel like that a lot of times that's going to be Italy. We will see though, because Italy, is in theory getting stronger by taking Tyrolia and Switzerland. So yeah, maybe they will be able to compete with the French when the time comes. But I would love to see it. I would love to see someone really give the French a hard time. But yeah, the fact that their, empire crumbled under that crusade, or under that civil war, because of that failed crusade, that was pretty cool. I liked that. That was pretty nice. So I'm going to be training these alums and putting them out. I want to get more vision on this part of the map, and yeah, I got ships over most of the Mediterranean. That feels pretty good as well. And I'm building my Bogolas, which also is just a really good feeling. That's my deep sea region boat. I'm building those here in Tripoli, and I can start building those here in Antioch as well. So what I'm going to do with my naval strategy is to get boats in every single sea region, and except for the Atlantic coast, I don't think there's any points to have a boat here. The only reason I can see for this, there's no port in this sea region, so I feel like there's like only one very niche situation to have a boat in the Atlantic coast, and that's if you want to attack Morocco, but the faction that owns Morocco has boats defending in the Straits of Gibraltar and the Barbary coast. Therefore, the only place you can attack from is the Atlantic coast. That's the only thing I can think of. That's the only reason why I can think that this would be an owned province. But once I have boats in every single sea region, then I'm going to double up and make sure that I have 2 boats in every single sea region. And the reason for that is because anytime like a storm comes in and sinks one of your boats, well, if you only have one boat in that sea region, then you could lose a lot of trade just from that one boat sinking. So that, and also just because 2 boats is better than 1 when it comes to dissuading other factions' navies from messing with yours. Sure, the big monster fleets can still cause some issues, but, you know, you don't have to worry so much about just the single boat, you know, getting a little cranky and coming after you. If you have 2 boats in every region, that is. Whereas, like, if you just have that one, then sometimes factions will just kind of mess with you and be like, hey, I can take this. And they'll just start a war for no reason, kind of. So that's going to be the goal. I have 4 provinces building boats now. Tripoli, Antioch, Palestine, and Sinai. Arabia is still training some naphtha throwers. I still want a few of these guys out. Syria is only held by 2 stacks. Antioch is being held by 4. I was thinking about evening that out a little bit and putting maybe 3 and 3, but honestly, Antioch is in the middle of building a castle. That's going to take, I think, another 11 turns, and I've already spent 2,000 on this, so I'd rather that not be interrupted. So let's focus on Antioch. Syria as well is also building a keep, but it's just a cheaper spend, right? And it does take less time for this to be completed. And on that note, I think most of my provinces are working on big buildings. Tripoli is working on a castle. Sinai is working on a castle. Egypt is working on a citadel. Arabia is working on the swordsmith so that I can train some Arab infantry at some point, get some decent swords on the field. And then Palestine is going to be working on the royal palace so that eventually I can train Gulam bodyguards. I want to be able to retrain these units that I have here. These were men that used to be part of my family, and they no longer are part of the line of succession. And this is my heir, actually, Prince Ali. Now, his unit's healthy, so he's fine, but I want these units also to be retrained, so that would be nice. And then my Sultan himself, Sultan Muhammad I, he's okay. 4 influence is kind of low, but he's 42. He's a drinker, so, you know, the fact that he's a drinker and this is still, like, okay is, you know, fine by me. And so when his son takes over, what's he got? Yeah, it's worse. Like, not, you know, not... It's bad. Yeah, it's pretty bad, I guess. But hey, all I need is for him to be alive. That's all that really matters. And the Almohads, they're still chilling. You know, they're not looking too threatening, but I do need to make sure that I have something here in Egypt just to kind of stare across the border at them. And yeah, there's a few nerds hanging out here in Sinai. Like, what do you guys want? Talking to my king? All right, leave. Bye. And I would like to get some assassins going. I think that's why I'm building the keep here in Syria. Because yeah, having agents just hang out in my borders, that's a no-no. I don't like that. I don't like it. Yeah, just hang out in my borders. Drink my wine, eat my bread. Oh, see this? Yeah, there's a Turkish emissary here in Antioch as well. Like, get out. Get out. But yeah, because I have so many buildings, like the big defensive structures, like the keeps and castles and stuff being built, there's not going to be a whole lot for me to do. So, yeah, I'm just going to be chilling out. There's 5 years before the glorious achievement points are counted again. And I'm going to be making a whopping 6 points. So, yeah, I'm going to be still pretty behind. The Almohads and the Byzantines, of course, are the ones going to be really racking it in. It would be nice if the Spanish and the Almohads went to war eventually. That would be nice of them. Yeah, Spanish, they should be making some decent points in the next turn, or the next counting period. And the Hungarians and the Poles, I mean, the fact that they make 1 point per province conquered, like, it's just so good. So the Poles have already conquered 4 provinces, and the Hungarians have already conquered 0 provinces. But they're making 4 peace off of, well, 4 off of Hungary, and then 3 peace off of Carpathia and Croatia. Like, that's pretty solid. Yeah, that's pretty solid. And the Italians, yeah, this is rough. Yeah, making 1 point per every 5 provinces conquered, like, that's so rough. Because I think they've conquered a few provinces already, but they still are not making any conquest points. Homelands, though, homelands are good. And yeah, the French have it rough as well. The fact that their homelands are like the Levant provinces, you know, they could be making 3 off of Edessa. This, you know, like, man, that's brutal. That's going to be brutal. I can't wait to play as like the French and the English, because I want to see how quickly I can take these Crusade objectives like Edessa and Antioch and stuff. And but I don't think, like for the English, I don't think any of these Crusade provinces count for their homelands. It just counts for the Crusades points, right? But then for the French, they have it pretty rough. Like, they're asking you to take Edessa and like Antioch and Tripoli and Palestine. And I think this is all in there from like the first turn of the campaign, which is obviously impossible. Like, you just can't get... the first counting period is in the year 1100. The campaign starts in 1087. You just can't get these provinces in 13 years. That's impossible. Even like 1150. I really wonder, for those of you who have played the French campaign, what's the fastest that you can get your paws on all 4 of these provinces, all 4 of these Crusade objectives? I'm really curious to hear, because that's going to be something that I'm going to be looking at doing, soonish I will be playing as the French, maybe in the next year or so. So I'm curious. That's something that I'm going to want to look at and see what's possible and what's not possible. Like, is it faster just to build the navies out and just do naval invasions across the board? Or is it faster just to like rush a keep and then build Crusade markers and then just send the Crusades? You know, like what's the deal with that? But we are not playing as the French. We're playing as the Egyptians, and we're playing it easy. Yeah, there's really, what are we making? 7,500 per turn, sitting on 55,000 in the treasury. And I'm almost ignoring my military right now. Like, I have this up here, sure, but like, as far as military tech, I'm just going to be getting swords out here from Arabia once the swordsmith is finished. You know, that's pretty low-tech stuff. You know, I'm just looking for something that can sort of hold in a melee against feudal men-at-arms for a little bit longer. That's really all I'm looking to do. But you know what? Let me just double-check my taxes, make sure my taxes are all very high, and everyone is happy about it. Yep, everyone loves paying taxes here in Egypt. And I think I already looked at the navies, but I can double-check this. I'm not at war with anyone, so yeah, there's no blockades that are possible. And yeah, that's groovy. Yeah, I'm just having my diplomats. I have nothing for them to do. They're just like spying on stuff and checking stuff out for me. I think, oh yeah, I was looking for the French king, and then he died, and now I'm looking for the new French king. So yeah, that's, I guess, one thing that I'm doing with them. And yes, also getting the alems spread out all across the map. Now one of my heirs has matured, Prince Al-Adil. And I believe this is going to be my second son. And the royal palace has been finished in Palestine as well. And another crusade has been declared against Antioch. Wow, that did not take them long at all. Okay. Bring it on, France. Prince Al-Adil, natural leader, so +2 morale, +1 loyalty. And he is a 2-star general, so okay. And, drinker, that's bad. -1 command, that's too bad. Yeah, so you are not a started general, and then you are not a started general as well. Okay. Well, what else you got? Oh, no, 2 loyalty. No. Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, he's kind of a booger. Let's see. Prince Al-Adil. So you're going to be... Huh. I would have thought that he would have been one of the sons of the current sultan. So I would have thought that he would be next in line after Prince Ali, that is. And then Prince Ali, this is, I would say, the younger brother of the current sultan, who is 43, 44, yep. So I wonder if he is third in line, essentially, does that mean that he is the son of like a previous king, perhaps? Is that what's going on? Huh, that's interesting. I'll keep an eye on this. When Prince Al-Mustali becomes of age, I want to see where he lines up. If he's going to be the next son of this sultan, then he might become the next in line after Prince Ali. Yeah, I'll keep an eye on that. But for now, you are just going to have to hang out with the king. Yeah, it's nothing for it. Got to keep you loyal somehow. Gotta keep you loyal. And yeah, we got some boats coming out. Hell yeah. And I saw up here the Byzantines, yeah, they've taken Khazar. Okay, that's pretty ambitious, I gotta say. So, for those of you who might be new to my channel or they're new to this game, and you might be wondering why I'm not being too aggressive at this point in the campaign, and why I'm just happy just building up my fleets and sending out my alims to scout out the rest of the map and build up my economy, well, it's because I know there's going to be a storm coming. And that storm is going to be coming from the east. It, of course, is going to be the Mongols. They will be arriving in the year, is it 1230 or 1235, or is it the year 1233? Is it the same every time? I should know the answers to all of these questions by now, but I always forget. But it's around that time. It's like the 1230s. And so we have time. You know, we have time before that happens. We have 83 years at least. And the thing is that when they come on, they immediately take Khazar. Like, this puny little Byzantine force will not stand a freaking chance against the amount of Mongol hordes coming in to take Khazar. And then there is a chance for other rebel provinces, sort of in the eastern part of the map, to join the Mongols. I've seen, like, Edessa, if it's rebel held, I will see them join the Mongols. Now, I feel like it's not just the rebel stacks that also join the Mongols. I feel like there's also, like, Mongol stacks that will appear in rebel provinces, I think. Or there's situations where it's just Khazar and they all just come into Khazar. So there's a little variation here. Now, by the time the Mongols come onto the map, I will have owned Edessa. I just know this because I know Edessa is going to be one of my glorious achievements points at some point. So I know that I'm going to be as far north as Edessa. I don't know if I will be any further north than that. I might be. I just don't know. You know, will I be tasked with taking Armenia? I don't know. But I at least need to be prepared to defend Syria and Edessa and Antioch from potential Mongol attacks. Now, this is going to be interesting because typically the Mongols, I mean, if they're just in Khazar, they typically go west and, yeah, just attack this way. The poor Poles and the Hungarians will feel the wrath of them. When I was playing as the Danes in my last campaign and I held Lithuania, man, the Mongols, like, there's that conspiracy that the AI always targets the human player as opposed to other potentially weaker factions. And yeah, that really seemed to come into light during my Danish campaign because I held Lithuania with like 1 million stacks and, you know, there's Poland barely hanging on to Kiev or wherever else they had. Yeah, probably just Kiev. And the Mongols would not attack them. They tried to attack Lithuania a couple of times, and I think I did fight a couple battles maybe, but it wasn't much. They couldn't do much against me. It was a very weak Mongol invasion. And that's another thing, is that the Mongol invasions are not all created equally. They have different amounts of stacks that show up, and I don't know the deciding factor on that. I don't know what determines how many Mongol stacks show up. That's a really interesting thing that I could continue to try to experiment with. I don't even know what I would do on my end, but just continue to observe and sort of see if I can notice any patterns there. And if you know the answer to that, I would, of course, love to hear your thoughts on this. But yeah, so far on this channel, it's been kind of funny because in my practice campaigns, the Mongols have been pretty formidable. But in my campaigns that I've recorded for this channel, whether as the Byzantines or as the Danes, it's been some pretty puny Mongol forces. I fought the Mongols once as the Byzantines, and I killed their Khan on their first turn, and it was like right away in the first battle I killed their Khan, and that was it. The whole horde went rebel and just hung out in Khazar. It was hilarious, but also boring. And then, yeah, as I just mentioned, during my Danish campaign, the invasion itself was pretty weak. So even though they took their appropriate targets of, you know, the steppe, I guess, they just really could not push any further west, and they kept looking at me and not, you know, they could have taken Kiev for sure. You know, the Poles are weak as the Poles almost always are. So yeah, it was kind of an interesting thing. So in this case, it's going to be interesting to see, will they continue to like just home in on the human player? Will that mean, like, you know, instead of doing anything about going west, go south, attack the Turks if they're still around, attack the Byzantines if they're in the way, or go right after me as soon as possible. All they need is to take Armenia, and they already would be bordering Syria, not Edessa, but Syria. And that would be interesting because I have not played the Egyptian campaign up to the point where I had to fight the Mongols again. That's where I called it quits and just said, all right, I get the point. I see what I have to do here. And then I stopped playing this campaign when I was practicing, which means that I don't have any practice with using the Egyptian unit roster against the Mongols. I have a pretty good idea on how to fight the Mongols, so I'm not too worried about it, but there are some differences for sure. And one of the main differences is that the Byzantines and the Danes both have access to some of the best heavy infantry in the game. For the Byzantines, it is the best infantry or heavy infantry unit in the game, which is the Varangian Guard. I don't know if they have any right now. I know they start the campaign with one, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, here they are, the Varangian Guard. Yeah, this is the best heavy infantry unit in the game. You could probably like make the argument that the chivalric foot soldiers, or what else? The Janissary heavy infantry. I've never used them before, but I hear that they're lightly armored. The Huskarls are also very good, but their stats are just slightly weaker than the Varangian Guard, but their stats are very good. And the Huskarls only take 1 turn to train, whereas the Varangian Guards take 2 turns to train, so there is that as well. But the fact that, you know, I could have just, I trained so many Varangian Guard when I played as the Byzantines, and it worked. I never got attacked after that first battle. And then as the Danes, I had a lot of Huskarls. So, you know, 2 factions with some of the best heavy infantry in the game are the 2 factions that I've played so far on this channel, and the Egyptians don't quite have that heft to their infantry. I would say Saracens might be my best bet. That's going to be my armored spearmen. And then having some Abyssinian guards, because they have their big axes. They don't have the armor and the defense the Varangian guards and the Huskarls have, but, you know, they have the big 2-handed axes. So I think getting some of them out onto the field to help chop down some Mongol heavy cav, that can help out. And then I can get some crossbows on the field as well by the time the Mongols show up. That can also always be a good thing. And then I'm going to want some like decent medium cav, if not heavy cav. I don't know if I can really get heavy cav in time, but I should be able to get some Ghulam cavalry. You just want kind of like a sweeper unit to sort of guard your back lines when you're playing, when you're fighting against the Mongols. Now, one thing though that's actually kind of stressful is that I don't know this terrain as well. I know Antioch does have forests, and Edessa, does this have forests? This has rock desert, so maybe not. Although Antioch also says rock desert. Rock desert, hills. Interesting. When I was attacked from Lesser Armenia, it's the same, nothing changes. Interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. So this is rock desert. Well, there were forests in that map that I, you know, fought against the French Crusade. Or not the French Crusade, but the, am I getting this mixed up? Where did I fight the Turks? Where did they attack me? It was Antioch, right? Yeah, it was in Antioch. And were they attacking from Edessa? Is that the difference? It just changes it to flatland. So maybe they attacked from Syria. Right, yeah. So inland to hills. Sand desert, arid ground. Oh, whoa, that's weird. Okay, so the terrain actually changes based on where you're attacking from. Now, no, don't get me wrong. I understood that, like, I understood that the vista changed. So if you look at, like, you know, I get that where it says hills here, and if you do this, or like this will be like flatland. I understood the vista changed, but I didn't know that the terrain itself would change. I thought that this since it says rock desert, I thought that would always be rock desert because that's what this is, right? But no, if you attack from Syria, it's arid ground. That's so bizarre. That is so weird. So if the Mongols are attacking, let's say hold Edessa, right? So they're not going to be attacking from there. But what if they're attacking from Lesser Armenia? That would be arid ground, right? That's what that seems to indicate. That this would be arid ground. So there should be forests available if I were defending from an attack from Lesser Armenia. And then what about Edessa then? If Edessa is being attacked from, say, Rum. First, let's look at it like this. So rock desert, but if it's being attacked from Rum, it would be arid ground. Okay. And Lesser Armenia, also arid ground. Okay, that seems to indicate that I would have forests available in Edessa and Antioch if I'm being attacked from Lesser Armenia or Rum. But then this is going to be the kicker, Syria, right? This is a sand desert. You can just see on the map, there's nothing here. There's going to be no forests. So let's double check this then. Armenia into Syria. Sand desert, yeah. And then Rum into Syria. Sand desert, okay. So that's going to be hard. If the Mongols were to attack into Syria, my normal tactic for fighting the Mongols is putting a bunch of spears and archers into the forest and just holding out until the Mongols, well, basically until the timer runs out, but it's a long time, it's a long battle. So, easier said than done. But without forests to give me that bonus versus cavalry, or to, give them a debuff, basically, wow, I mean, that's going to be a tough fight if that were to occur here in Syria. So, yeah, my plan is going to be, and as I was saying before, the reason why this is going to be so pacifist-oriented at this stage of the campaign is because I need Syria and Antioch and then eventually Edessa to get up to being defendable provinces. I need a lot of troops there. And to do that, I need a lot of money. So that's what I'm working on right now. My ruler's wife has given birth to another son, so that is good news. I will take it. Bakr el Mustansir is a drinker. I don't know if you are a Star General or not, though, so we'll have to take a peek at that. And there we go. Yeah, 5 points. It's funny how the homelands, or the glorious achievements objectives only get counted for like homelands. It doesn't like tell you your conquest points. So I made 5 off of homelands, but then I made an additional 1 off of conquest, which was not shown there, but it did happen. I think I had 13 before. So yeah, I made 6 points. And yeah, I'm still working on that mosque in Egypt. When I have 1204. So I have plenty of time to get that built up. But then, yeah, look at this. The Almohads are up to 41 points. The Byzantines are up to 46. Oh my goodness, yeah, they're doing very well. The Italians are up to 39. Yeah, they're doing well as well. Yeah, it's going to be worth keeping an eye on there. I'm definitely falling behind, but I think it's ooh, wait, ooh, are the Byzantines letting the French Crusade pass this time? Does this mean... Yeah, they're not... Yeah, the Byzantines are letting them through. Oh, that's different. Oh, okay. Huh, that's interesting. Why would they not let them pass the first time? And I have no vision on this. I can't even take a peek at it right now. Okay. Well, I know where I'm going to send my next alum. You go up here to Greece so that we can spy on that French Crusade when it does pass through. Unless it goes through Bulgaria, which that would be annoying. I don't have any... No, I don't have any guys over there. Huh. Yeah, I would like to see what the French Crusade has. And here are my Arab infantry. I'm going to start training these guys up here in Arabia. just so I can get some swords out. Yeah, there's some cool little art there. So these are the backbone of the armies of Islam. Armed with sword and shield, they are effective hand-to-hand fighters, valuable when attacking rather than in defense. And that is my understanding, is that this is a pretty low defense unit. Swords typically are pretty balanced between defense and attack, but not so much for the Arab infantry. I think they have a better charge bonus and a better attack, but then not so much with their armor and defense. But hopefully they can help hold out a bit better against a few little men-at-arms. And they're cheap as well, 125, 45 support cost. So yeah, hopefully we'll get a few of those guys going and put them up in my armies here in Syria, and especially Antioch to, yeah, defend against this crusade, because this time, if it retreats, it's not going to disappear. It's going to hang out in a Lesser Armenia for a while. Now that it is the next turn, I have a new set of Homeland's objectives. Well, I don't know if it's a new set. It kind of is. It's like it's a restructuring of the points, and I will be making 3 points off of Egypt and Syria, and then 1 point off of Arabia and Sinai. So instead of making a total of 5 points off of Homeland, now I'm making 8. So that's good. That's better for sure. Yeah, I'll take it. That's going to help push. It's going to help me, you know, start to catch up a little bit. Also, the French Crusade was a bit cheeky. I think they used the Byzantine Navy to get from Serbia all the way to Nicaea. How did they do that? That was weird. How did they do that? Adriatic has boats. The Ionian Sea has boats, the Mertun Sea has boats, but then they would have needed boats here to jump to Nicaea. That was so weird how they just did that. Anyway, this is a scarier crusade. They have a 3-star general for one. They have 3 units of Knights Templar, which is a chivalric knight equivalent, which is a very, very good knight unit, a very good heavy cav unit. So these are scary units. This unit's a bit banged up, but these are both full strength units. And they have armor upgrades as well, so yeah, yikes. And some Zekiles. These are the horse archers that are a faction-specific unit for the Hungarians. They are, I think, the best horse archer, or one of the best horse archers in the game. And then Royal Knights, mounted crossbows, armored spears, and yeah, it's a small, okay, that's a small crusade. That's the problem. So these 3 units of Knights Templar are quite good, but the rest of it's kind of diminished. So that makes me think that they didn't have much of a wind-up time to pick up a lot of units. I think they might have, yeah, I'm not really sure about that. Yeah, I'm not too afraid of that crusade. Ah, yes, the Citadel is finally finished here in Egypt. So now I think I just have to build the Grand Mosque and the job will be done. And then, yes, a mosque has been finished here in Arabia. I think I was going to start training Alims here, was it? I mean, it does give +1 morale to any unit trained in Arabia, so it's a ubiquitously useful unit building. The Great Fair of Champagne. The lords of Champagne have encouraged trade in their lands for many years, showing much wisdom in knowing that trade as well as land brings wealth to a people. Champagne has easy-flowing rivers to bring merchants and their goods from far away, all to trade at the Great Fair. This wise policy gives the governor of Champagne +3 acumen. Okay, so that doesn't mean anything for me. Prince Asali is most charitable. I think this is the guy that is the younger brother of the Sultan. +20 happiness, +1 piety, so it doesn't really matter at all unless he becomes a governor of something. And then the Sultan, great builder, +1 loyalty to all generals and +10 happiness in all provinces. That is good. Yes, I will take it. Yeah, that's a good one. And this crusade, man, they are just looking. Yeah, I think they're losing men as they're moving through the Byzantine territories. Yeah, they're looking like they're in rough shape. So I'm wondering how long it's going to take, because I don't want to, when this crusade sits in Lesser Armenia and then it's not going to attack me, I want this crusade to end because as soon as it ends, the French king will then lose influence again. He is 27, he's 4 influence, so he's going to be around for a while. He's going to be around long enough to see that crusade fail. And the fact that it's so small would make you think that it's not going to take too long for these men to disperse, but I find that crusades still take longer than you would think. Like there's times when there's like barely any men left and it still kind of hangs on. But I don't want to attack Lesser Armenia to get rid of it because for one thing, crusades can retreat, which is weird. I mean, the AI crusades can retreat, but I don't think the human crusades can. It's a really weird thing. But also, I don't want to start a war with the Byzantines, so yeah, I'm just going to have to watch that crusade just wither away and just wait. Just wait it out. Also, my castles are finally finished being built here in Tripoli and Antioch, or not quite Antioch, but in Tripoli. I may as well get the Merchants Guild, so this is going to be that 3rd tier Merchants building. Yeah, I may as well. Syria, I'm working on getting a tavern so that I can train assassins here. Looking forward to that. And Arabia, what do I want to do in Arabia? Oh yeah, that's right, I built a mosque so that I could build a ribat at some point. Yeah, yes. Yes, I guess I should do that. Also, it does give +2 morale as well. Yeah. Yeah, I guess. See, I'm really burdening Arabia with a lot. You know, it's training a lot of my soldiers, and it's training my Arab infantry right now, and pretty soon it's going to be building jihad markers. Like, it's just really doing a lot for me. But I'm just focusing on boats in my other provinces. But Palestine will be retraining these Gulam bodyguards. So let's throw you guys in. Get those units trained back up. And then, yeah, Egypt can finally get a Grand Mosque. There it is. 16 more years, so plenty of time left. Only 1,000 florins. But yeah, it's going to give +3 morale to any unit trained here. So the Grand Mosque is required to train the Nizaris? Huh, that's interesting, because the Nizaris are like a faction-specific unit for the Egyptians, and I get a valor bonus for training them in Syria. +1 valor bonus for training Nizaris here, but if I can only build 1 Grand Mosque, and if I want those glorious achievements points from building that Grand Mosque, it has to be here in Egypt. Right? I'm not reading that wrong, right? Mosque in Egypt, yeah. Huh, that's interesting. Why the game would design it like that. That's kind of frustrating, but what can you do? So let's get that Grand Mosque going here, and I mean, +3 morale for the Nizaris is still a good boost, but getting that valor bonus would be kind of cool as well. It'd be nice to have it all, you know? And yeah, let's just keep training alums here in Egypt. Why not? Now another heir has matured, Prince Al-Mustali, and I'm curious to see if this is going to be my next in line after the other one. I can't remember. Prince something? Prince? His first name is Prince. I remember that much. Prince Al-Mustali, Killer Instinct. +2 Valor, +1 Dread. That's a good one. And then Strange. Oh, that's a bad one. -1 Morale, -10 Happiness. Oh, god damn it. He's a 4-star general too, so that's too bad. Let's see, Amir al-Din. Let's see, +50% to cost of bribe. Awesome. And Gentle Knight, you are just a peasant. Educated, +1 acumen. Okay. How's your loyalty? Loyalty's good at least. Yep, loyalty is good. How's it? Influence. Influence is 5 on him. Yeah, I think faction leaders do gain influence just by having the glorious achievements points counted, even if you haven't done anything or attacked anything. That seems to be pretty conclusive by now, I think, in my observations. Yeah, it's funny because, you know, when you look under, like, you know, all of the official wording on how influence is acquired, And they talk about, yeah, attacking provinces and helping besieged allies. What's the other one? Crusades and jihads also gain influence as well. But it's a positive thing by now. I know myself and the other YouTuber that I've mentioned a few times, Count MRVHS, and I'm sure a lot of you folks as well have observed this as well. Influence also just increases just by hanging out, and I think that happens during the counting periods for the glorious achievements objectives. I really think so. So, you know, and it might be like a certain amount of influence if there's like a lot of points versus not a lot of points. So even though I gained only 6 points and I only gained 1 point of influence, that might be related, right? Whereas if I was gaining a lot of points, maybe I would have gained a lot of influence. I'm not sure, but yeah. Anyway, this is not a bad, you know, not bad stats for a prince. 4 command, but the strange is a bad one. That one sucks. -1 morale sucks. So where is he? So he is okay. So yeah, Prince Aladil must have been a son from a previous king or something. And then Prince Al-Mistali is the younger brother of Prince Ali. So Prince Ali remains the principal heir. And now you can go somewhere. You're loyal enough to be useful to go somewhere, but I don't even know where. I mean, I only have 3 provinces that I'm having to guard on my borders, and I have a 4-star general here, and I have a, what, 5-star here? Used to be 6 stars, but now you are Chinless Wonder, so yeah, 5 stars here, then another 6 stars here, so yeah, I guess I don't really need you, but you can hang out in Tripoli and hang out with your older brother. And speaking of which, yeah, I have these guys being retrained. Okay. So they can be brought up to Tripoli as well. Or in fact, actually, I'll just bring these guys up to Antioch so that I can get some, you know, decent heavy cav units up there. But I really don't see this French Crusade going through with this attack. I just don't see it. I have 4 stacks here, and this is very beat up. As to be expected, the French Crusade is going to retreat from Antioch. Yeah, they have no chance, no hope against me. None at all. The Byzantines have the strongest military might. Yeah, well, it's good for them. And one of my generals has died of old age. Najimuddin El-Ghazi of Aleppo. And the Spanish king is looking for an alliance. Do I care enough? Yeah, I expect that eventually he's going to go to war with the Almohads. Now, I'm not allied with the Almohads, but just in case the Spanish ever get some boats in the water and I want some insurance if they want to attack me, I guess it would be nice to have an alliance with him. The Turks, though, no, sorry guys. I'm going to be attacking Edessa at some point. And let's see. You are not a general, but you are a governor. +1 dread, +2 valor. Okay, so the dread's good. The dread is useful for governors. Now we are back to the question of what to do with Palestine. Palestine could be building a building, and so it can train the Ghulam bodyguards. That's good. It's good to have a good 20-man unit of decent cavalry, a heavy cav that is, but the real good ones are going to be the Ghulam cavalry, the full-size units. And to get those, I need a horse breeders guild and a spearmakers guild, I believe. And I believe I can get up to those buildings both at the castle level. So let's start with the horse farmer. And yeah, just go from there, I guess. Because yeah, get Ghulam cavalry. The Armenian heavy cav would be nice if I were to take either Lesser Armenia or Rum. Those are the only 3 provinces where I can train those units. And Let's see, the other unit as well. What are they called? The Khwarezmian Cavalry? I think that's a Citadel level Cav unit. I think that is a tier 4, I believe. But that is something that I would like to get as well at some point. And I can finally start building or training assassins here in Syria. Yes, this is awesome. An assassin kills people. When dropped onto another character, the assassin will try to kill that character. His chance of success depends on his own skills and the importance of the target. Yeah, let's start pumping those guys out. 200 per assassin. And I think I will be getting a +2 valor bonus for assassins here in Syria, is my understanding. Even though it does not say that here, but yes, it's going to feel good to finally start clearing out all of these other factions' agents. They're just kind of hanging out in my territories. Yeah, how about no more of that? Yeah, looking forward to it. So, I wouldn't mind just, actually, I was going to go straight for a merchant. But getting a curtain wall, it's a good defensive upgrade for my keep, and yeah, it's going to make the outer wall of my keep into stone. It only takes 2 years. Yeah, let's get the curtain wall. And just like that, get a couple of these assassins out onto the map, and they are just cleaning up these agents. Yeah, this one's already up to a rank 3, started at a rank 2. Yep, there goes the Byzantine priest. And the French Crusade, they keep trying. They keep trying to attack, but it's not going to work out for them. No, no, no. It's a bad job. Let's see, the Pope has died from an illness, and yep, okay. Merchants Guild finished here in Tripoli, so there's going to be more money coming in from Tripoli. From trade, that is. So the poet of courtly love, in his many verses, Chrétien de Troyes retells the stories of Arthur, Lancelot, Genevieve, and the Knights of the Round Table in great and glorious detail. His words speak of the joys and pleasures of romance and love, distracting many from more religious thoughts, minus 10% zeal in all France. That actually should be hurting their crusades that they send in my direction, okay? And let's see, the Poles want an alliance. Do I care? Do I care? Yeah, sure. Just on the off chance that you end up with boats in the water, I will take that assurance. And let's see, Abu Malik al-Mustansir is minus 20% of bribery cost. That's not good. So we have to make sure let's kill this guy. Yeah, let's get rid of him. And I think we have some emissaries. Nope, the Almohad emissaries are gone from Egypt, but I still want some assassins down there and then here in Antioch. Just in my border provinces, making sure that these agents stay away from me. Alright, I can bring these Arab infantry up to Syria. That looks good, and yeah, this is all looking pretty good so far. I have boats now in every single sea region that I want to have boats in, so that feels pretty good. And what kind of income is that making us? So that's making us almost 10 grand per turn. That's pretty gosh darn good, and that's even with the fact that there's like not a ton of ports on the map, right? Like the AI hasn't built a lot of ports in provinces that could and should have ports. I know Finland and Novgorod and Livonia and Lithuania all have trade goods. These should all have ports. Sweden, Norway, same deal. They should have ports as well. You know, so the fact that I'm making 10 grand per turn, and the fact that with the AI not making as many ports as they should have, I will take it. You know, that's pretty good. And now I can start doubling up on my boats per sea region just to have that assurance that I won't get attacked, hopefully. Here in Sinai, I'm starting to work on the Boyar's Guild so that I think this is the last building that I need to get before I can start training my Mamluk horse archers. So that's going to feel good. And then, yeah, Palestine is working on the Spearmakers so that I can get Ghulam Cavalry at some point. Arabia's working on the farm upgrades because why not? And I think I can probably start working on a jihad by now as well. It only takes 2 turns to build. Interesting. Don't the crusade markers take 4 turns to build? Huh. Yeah. If that's the case, then yeah, you can really pump these babies out. Man, oh man, that's pretty good. And then Tripoli can just continue to build Bagalas. What's next in Tripoli? Let's maybe get that farm upgrades pumped out here. Yeah, I'm not really sure. What is the farm income in Tripoli? 585, and that's with 0 farm upgrades. So yeah, let's get that going there. And more boats in Antioch. Yeah, this is looking pretty gosh darn good. At some point, I'm going to have to switch back into military a little bit just to make sure that my borders are secure. But for now, the fact that I have, what, 137 florins in the treasury? Oh my god, I had 55,000 at the beginning of this campaign, or this episode. My goodness, that's crazy. Oh man, yeah. So, yeah, but if the Mongols show up, maybe I just throw money at them, you know? And this crusade has to go away eventually. It's like kind of like at half strength of where it was before. Yeah, it'd be nice if that could go away because this 4 influence French king can really be feeling the pain if he has to kind of go through another civil war. But you know what? That is all going to have to wait until next time. As always, I hope you have enjoyed this one and thank you very much for watching. This has been Concept playing Medieval Total War. Thank you very much, and goodbye.